By far, the best way to speedrun your success in wholesaling real estate is by pulling the probate and the pre-foreclosure list. It is a dynamic duo list that you are going to get in front of the most motivated sellers possible. If you're somebody that hates cold calling or hates text blasting 10,000 sellers at a time, and you just want to get in front of the most motivated sellers that none of your competition is pulling, this is the exact list you need to be pulling. This is exactly how you're going to get that motion, that bread, that money. If you're out here pulling all this data, trying to get all this success, and you're just getting no results, this is what you have to be doing. By far, the most powerful and successful list I've ever pulled in wholesaling real estate has been the probate list. And by far, the most motivated sellers, they literally have a time clock, a ticker of when their house is going to be sold in auction, is the pre-foreclosure list. And when you combine both lists together, you get, boom, the most fattest, biggest assignment deal lists with the most motivated lists possible. You are going to be rolling in the money. And so in today's video, I'll be breaking down exactly how to pull the pre-foreclosure and the probate list so you could start making that guap in wholesaling real estate. I've been pulling this list for over 10 years now, and by far, it is the best bang for your buck list if you are calling or texting motivated sellers right now in 2026. Because again, you need to call 300 or 400 of these type of lists to get one deal, where if you pull a code violation list, maybe it's 1,000, but if you pull a list on like a paid software, you're going to be calling 10, 12, 13,000 for the same deal. So you're watching this, you have two choices. Either you pull 500 of these records, get a deal, or you pull 14,000 and then spend a lot of time calling and texting them and a lot of money and a lot of manpower to go get a deal. I mean, the dialer is going to be $140 a month for a triple line dialer. So the choice is pretty clear. Do the smaller data. But here's the thing with the smaller data. It packs a punch. They're more motivated, but there's one main issue. There's no central place to go pull this type of data. And what I mean by this is you just can't go to xleads.com and pull a fresh pre-foreclosure list. I don't care what wholesaling software you use. There's a million awesome wholesaling softwares out there, but for legal reasons, I'm not allowed to talk about them. If you pull a pre-foreclosure list from any of these softwares, they're going to be at minimum 2, 3, even 4 weeks old. So you want to get it right when the lawsuit got filed. Remember, a pre-foreclosure list is a list of people who are not paying their mortgage. The bank is suing to go get the property back. A probate is a legal process of figuring out somebody's estate after they died, their properties, who gets what, and everything like that. Usually the heirs file it, so they're trying to get the house from their mom or dad or whoever passed away. But the problem is there's a lot of great softwares, even XLeads, you can pull pre-foreclosures and probates, but they're on average going to be 1 to 2 weeks behind. And that is the time advantage that you are going to be having. And the best part is it's completely free. So let's get behind my computer here and let's pull the pre-foreclosure and probate list. Now I'm going to let you know this is very important. There are certain markets where it is stupid hard to pull the probates. It's really hard to pull the pre-foreclosures, and that's a good thing. See, it's not a bad thing that you can't instantly pull a pre-foreclosure list. I know you want it to be stupid easy, but that means if it's hard in your market, then that means not any wholesalers pulling lists there. And if you can go out here and get that list that no other wholesaler has, you are going to be getting deals because there's going to be virtually no competition. That's why pre-foreclosures and probates work so good, because most people want to pull them from a software and be lazy. But if you can do 5, 10% more work than the average person, you're going to get 60, 70% more results. And that's why you are watching this channel, so you can have success. And so let's go out here and choose our markets. And I want to find kind of an easy market and a hard market to pull this data, just to show you the difference. So let's do an easy market, for example. I always use this one because it's just so simple. And I'm just going to search Lucas County Probate. And when you search Lucas County Probate, you're going to find the Lucas County Probate Court. Be popping up right here. So this is Lucas County, Ohio. This is their probate court. Pretty simple. So what I'm going to do is just click on Lucas County Probate Court, and we're going to go to case access here. It's going to want me to file a Ohio file, which is just all fancy and great. And so to do this, get a basic plan. Okay, I'm doing a general public. I'm going to register my account with Ohio. Alrighty, now I got back into the portal. Now it's making everything impossible for me. Advanced search. So now it's making do a crazy advanced search here. So as you see, Toledo, Ohio, as I see here, has clearly changed how they pull their pre-foreclosures. So this is actually going to be difficult. I had to create an account, and now, oh, it wants my contact info. Wait, hold on. Okay, now we're in on this account here. here. So I have a couple things. I can search by cases from the attorney. I'm going to go by case file date. We are then going to we're doing this in February. So let's just do the past couple weeks. Today's the 5th. So we're going to press search, and we're looking at all cases in the state of, it looks like Ohio, Lucas County right here. So right here it just popped up. It was hard. Now I had to make a research Ohio count. So that was interesting. Right here is the state of Ohio Department of Taxation. This is a lien judgment. So I could show case type. It's the names, like the estate of. So right here, it's the estate of Tommy something. I can't say this on YouTube. But right here is a case filed to yesterday. So I'm gonna click on this record here, and as we see, there is a probate, and this is exactly the probate list, right? So it looks like the decedent was this Tommy guy. Interesting. And the applicant is this Tyrone. So here's the judge. Here's the information. All the documents are on here. So right here. So again, there's nothing on here to file on. So I'm going to click on parties, hearings, events is right there. So again, not crazy amount of information, but something I can work with. So I found this Tommy Atkins guy died. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cross-reference this information with the Lucas County property appraiser. And I'm going to go out here and look his name up on the assessor search. So I'm going to go by owner. See this Tommy Atkins guy. Okay. See if he owned any real estate. So it looks like the guy didn't own any real estate. It might be Thomas Atkins. Go out here in front of Thomas. Tommy's a weird name to put on a legal document, but looks like he did not own any real estate. So we just want to find probate cases where the person actually owned real estate. Let's go out here and try another one. Just look for a probate. This one is guardianship, civil foreclosure, Capital One. This is a little lien right here. That's pretty good. Administration of a will. So this is for the Susan lady. This one's probably a little more interesting here. Let's go read the hearings here. So no hearings or anything, but we see the fiduciary is her. The applicant's Teresa. So it looks like there is some real estate with this one. Let's go look her up. Susan Welty. So if I go to Welty and we find a Susan, she's right here. So this is definitely her right here. So SK Welty matches right here with that file. And you see this is the property that she owns. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, if I'm doing the probate myself, right? Like, so if I have no money or anything like that, I'm just going to take the property address right here and throw it in a website here, like cyberbackgroundchecks.com. We'll throw it under address right here and throw it right here. And right here, you have SK Susan right here. So she passed away and her heir was, looks like it was that Teresa. So I see Teresa under possible relative. So we're going to click her info right here. So this is her, and we got her phone number right here. So all we're going to do is you see this one last reported 2025. This is definitely that right heir. So now you got their number there. You're going to take that information. I would put it on a spreadsheet by property address. So street, city, state, zip code, and then the PR's name, and then their phone number right there. And this is the person petitioning, and I would call and get a wholesale deal from that. Now, if we're doing a pre-foreclosure list, again, some areas are a little harder than others. If I'm going to do like a very difficult pre-foreclosure list, okay, let's just do like Palm Beach, clerk of the court. So clerk of court, Palm Beach. And you go out here and search like official records. So I'm going to go to official records here in Palm Beach. I'm going to go to document type. Now, every county is obviously going to be a little different with this. And we're going to go here and look for the number one thing is you're going to look for list pendants. Now, if your county doesn't have like a really easy like portal where you can go out here and pull this data, what I recommend is go to the clerk of the court like in person or call and ask for a list, not of the pre-foreclosures. One of the worst possible things you can say is you go there and say, hey, I want a list of all the pre-foreclosures. Like that's not going to work. You need to request a list of all the list pendants filings. That is just a going for a lawsuit. And your list pendants here, we're going to do for the past, let's just do week. So that should be fine. I'm not a robot. Submit it. And these are going to be all the pre-foreclosure records. So pops up right here. So let's do the record. And right here, obviously you have this mortgage company right here. And you see that this person is getting their property foreclosed on right here from a mortgage company. And we have the address. So right here, I'm going to try to read the address here. It's right here. So this property right here in Jupiter, Florida. And we have the owner right there. So one thing I can do is obviously I just can't copy and paste this. Doesn't make it easy. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to screenshot this address right here. I'm going to screenshot this address and I'm going to go to ChatGPT. And then I'm just going to go out here and have ChatGPT go out here, get the address from this pic, and just literally, if I'm lazy, I'm just going to copy it, throw in ChatGPT. I can listen to my Taylor Swift while I'm doing this or whatever tunes make you happy right here with the address right here. So obviously I could put through cyberbackgroundchecks.com. But the whole point is if I want to do this like really fast, and that's what I recommend if you're gonna do some scraping, just go back to search results. And what you're gonna do is you're going to go to export Excel, and an entire Excel spreadsheet has been pulled. I'm going to take that Excel spreadsheet from this data. Now, if there's no way to do an Excel spreadsheet, you can just go right here and like screenshot all these records, then throw them into ChatGPT to go organize. And what I recommend if you're doing this at scale is just to go organize this into a street address, city, state, and zip code for skip tracing, and just have the whole data set be used for skip tracing right here. So it's going off right here for CSV rows right there. Simple. And then from there, when you take all that data, you are then going to go to X leads, and I would go just skip trace it in bulk right here. If I go to leads right here, and I would just import the list. So right here, I'm going to go to upload CSV, and then I can upload a CSV by street, city, state, and zip code. And boom, right there, I can skip trace the entire list inside of X leads, export it out, throw it inside the dialer, throw it inside the text blasting software, and start reaching out to these leads. Guys, pre-foreclosures and probates are a little more complicated to pull than the standard high equity or vacant property list, but that is where all the profits are. So if you're excited and you're ready to start pulling the best type of list possible for wholesaling real estate, the probates, pre-foreclosure list, push and pay lists, guys, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe. Make sure you join a free real estate wholesaling school group. It's my free course and community where I actually break down how to do this. I actually have a master file inside of there. If you go here inside of the free school group right here, freewholesaling.com, if you go to classroom and you go to marketing, I have an entire government list spreadsheet. So if you want to find where in the entire world the probate or the pre-foreclosure list for your city or county, if you're doing this virtual, everything with a red dot on there, I actually have the probate pre-foreclosure list. So for example here, the pre-foreclosure list or the probates for Greenville, South Carolina, I actually have a link to actually how you can pull that data. It's right there. If you want the spreadsheet, just go to freewholesaling.com. The link should be in the bio. The word free, the word wholesaling.com, freewholesaling.com. I'll teach you how to wholesale real estate completely for free, step by step. And guys, if you got any value from this video, do me a favor. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.